Yo, my friends, welcome back to the Nerd Herd, where we discuss gaming news, tech updates, and unboxings. Over the past few days, two posts from WCCFTech caught a lot of attention. One suggests server CPU prices from AMD and Intel may rise. The other shows decade-old DDR3 motherboards suddenly selling again. Individually, these are interesting, but together, they raise a question where the PC hardware market is going. WCCFTech shared two separate reports. The first claims that AMD and Intel are reportedly considering raising server CPU prices by around 15%. The reason given is that much of the server CPU inventory has already been absorbed by hyperscalers and data center customers. The second report points out a rise in sales of DDR3 motherboards. These are platforms originally designed for CPUs from the early mid 2010s and have long been considered obsolete. Now, both posts come from WCCFTech, a site that often aggregates industry leaks, analyst notes, and supply chain reporting. Now, here's what we know for sure. A few things can be stated with confidence. The demand for server hardware remains very strong, driven largely by cloud providers and AI-related workloads. Both AMD and Intel have reportedly healthy server CPU sales in their recent earnings call. Now, there is a clear evidence that used and refurbished PC hardware markets are active. Legacy components like DDR3 memory and compatible CPUs are widely available, inexpensive, and still functional for basic workloads. Finally, DDR3 motherboards are no longer produced at scale. That means any increase in demand, even a small one, can show up quickly in sales data or pricing. If server CPU supply is tight, vendors gain more pricing power. Even modest price increases at the enterprise level can ripple outward by keeping overall CPU and platform prices elevated. At the same time, higher costs for modern platforms can push budget-conscious buyers towards older hardware. Now, that does not mean people prefer DDR3, don't get me wrong. It just means that older platforms become more attractive when newer ones feel out of reach for entry level or secondary systems. Now, taken together, these trends suggest a market under strain where high end demand is strong, but affordability at the low end is weakening. Now, there has been no official confirmation from AMD or Intel about server CPU price increases. The report references internal discussions and analyst observations, not announced policy changes, so you can chill. It is also unclear how large the DDR3 motherboard sales increase actually is. The data does not show whether this is a short-term spike or a regional effect or a substantial trend. More importantly, we do not know how long current pricing pressure on modern platforms will last. Now, for PC gamers and hardware enthusiasts, this affects upgrade and timing and value. If server enterprise demand continues to dominate supply, mainstream CPU and motherboards may stay expensive longer than expected. This makes used parts, older platforms, or delayed upgrades more common amongst your choices of purchase. It also reinforces a split market where high-end systems advance quickly while budget builds rely more on reuse and legacy hardware. Now, none of this means the PC industry is moving backwards technologically. It does suggest that economic pressure is shaping buying behavior more than the innovation at the low end. For now, these reports are signals, not conclusions. They are worth watching though, especially if you're planning on upgrading this year. For example, I'm holding off for my PC build, but I'm looking at these prices and I'm like, what? But anyways, let me know what you think on your side of the market. How's it going for you? Are you currently building this PC? Are you finding that these prices are just out of reach for you? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're building something as well. Anyways, Nerd Herd, out.